Well, hello guys. It is reflect and reaction day for me. For me, that is on a Sunday. Each Sunday I sit down with a couple of my journals and or planners and I reflect on the previous week and also set my priorities and to-do list for the upcoming week. So as I pulled out my first one, which is the Dream Plan Succeed journal, I felt like, no, this is a planner, my bad. I felt like this would be a great time to tell you guys all about this planner. I am so excited about this one. First of all, it comes in hardback as well as spiral bound. Now, if you order this one from my website, you'll see the spiral bound. I haven't put the hardback on the website yet because most people like spiral bound. But once I got this one in a sample, I just fell in love with it. But the beautiful thing that I love about this Dream Plan Succeed planner is that it is, first of all, it's gorgeous, not to toot my own horn. But we start off with, it's undated. Everything that I have is undated. But it's kind of partially dated because I did put the months in it. I just didn't put dates on the month. So you can put your own date so you can use it any year. So if you get it and you don't use it this year, you can use it for the next year, right? So one thing I wrote about this is that this journal starts off with you reviewing and reflecting on the previous year, because I believe that before you can plan the next year, you need to review what happened the previous year. What made you happy? And it's about 4 pages. It starts with what experiences made you happy, what experiences changed you, also, how did you build and nurture relationships? What experiences stopped you in your tracks? And once you get through all of that, then you can get into actually writing the vision. Now, when it comes to writing the vision, sometimes I come back to this after I plan out all of my goals, but which I did in this occasion. I actually came back to writing out the vision as well. So this year I envisioned me being consistent on the path to be intentional about building a better me, right? It's all about, my theme for this year is all about God, goals, and growing. And then I want to prioritize my health and my mental well-being. And then I note that consistency is key to progress, and that I am committing to documenting my journey, right? So, and then I laid it out per quarter. So per quarter, we are, and when I say quarterly journal, I mean that each quarter is a rinse and repeat. Right? Each quarter you will plan out your goals again, because sometimes planning out your goals for the entire year can be intimidating, right? So sometimes I like to plan a quarter at a time. And because that gives me the opportunity to, at the end of each quarter, to sit and review and reflect and then pivot if you need be. If 2020 taught us nothing, it taught us that we have to learn how to pivot, right? Because a lot of things we weren't able to get out. A lot of people had to pivot to being online and delivery like they never had before. So we have to be ready to pivot. So I like planning a quarterly planner because I can plan out all of my goals, then I can work the plan, and then I can really sit down and figure out, okay, did this really work? Is this something that was really important to me? Did it really help me get to my goal? You know, what was going on with this? And then I can plan for the next quarter on whether or not what I'm going to keep, what I need to enhance, and what I need to let go. Because sometimes we need to let go of some stuff, right? Because we got ideas of how to implement the goal, right? And the strategy, we might have gotten it from somebody else, right? And it might didn't work for us, and that's okay, because everything don't work for everybody. So we have to be willing to let go some stuff, right? And what I love about this is each quarter I have a different quote. It might be a quote from me, it might be somebody that I admire in the industry. And this one says, goals are reached in the day-to-day task, not the last minute dash. And I like that, because so many times, and this is a quote from myself, so many times I have to remember that it's my job to stick to the plan. It's God's job to ensure that the results are going to come. Because sometimes in the day-to-day, you might not see the results immediately. So you have to remember to stick to your plan, even though you may not always see the results immediately, right? Another thing, so once we get over that, in each quarter, you have to establish your goals in each area. And I set this out to be 6 different areas: your work or your business goals, your health goals, your spiritual goals, then your relationship goals, your personal goals, and also your financial goals. Now, when I do this planner, and the gray boxes are really small for a reason, so that you can't put a whole list of goals. You can only put 1 or 2 there, and then write out your action plan for it as well. And then one thing that I started to do, because my pastor had a vision board party as well, is that for each of the goals, I found a scripture to support it. So over in the note sections, I will put the scripture that I was leaning on, and as well as continue to write out some of my action plans if I didn't have enough space to write it over here, right? So for each goal, you write out the goal, then you write out your action plan, and then you put some notes over to the side as into how you're going to accomplish it, including the help that you're going to need as well. So I really like that part of it. So once you get through filling out your goals in those 6 areas, then you move into the next session, which is you are going to establish a routine, right? And then there's another one of my quotes where I say, time is like money. If you don't tell it where to go, it will tell you where it's been. Listen, we cannot waste time in this season. So we have to make sure that we are allotting the right amount of time to accomplish our goals, as well as that we are sticking to the schedule, right? So after that, we begin to do a task organizer. So in this task organizer, I really like this. I ask you to think about all the goals that you have set. Of those goals, what do you need to do on a daily basis? Because there are some things that we have to do daily, right? And then what can you do on a weekly basis? And then I even break it down to what can you do on a monthly basis, no specific day. And then there's an other. And for my other, I felt that in as quarterly, right? So there are some quarterly goals that I want to do as well. So in my day-to-day, one thing that I know that I want to do each and every day is to get 30 minutes of exercise in. So that's on my day-to-day, right? Another thing that I want to get done on a day-to-day is to cook my meals at home. I tend to eat out a lot, right, during the week. So what I wanted to do is commit to eating at home at least 5 of those days in a week. And right now I've set it to where I can only eat out once a week, right? So I want to cook at home for those. And then on my weekly thing, this is something that doesn't have to be done, on a specific day. I just make sure that I do it at least once a week, right? And that is, one of those is record my YouTube videos, right? Or write a blog for my blog as well, or attend a coaching course, a coaching certification program that I purchased on last year but didn't complete. So I put it on my calendar that on at least one Saturday, every Saturday, I'm going to commit to sit down for 1 to 2 hours and just go through, watch some of the videos in the course and do some of my assignments, right? At least once a week. And then monthly, I have in my personal relationships, I wanted to have an outing with one of my friends that I hold near and dear to me. So at least on a monthly basis, I can schedule some time on my calendar to meet with that friend doing some type of activity. Right? It doesn't have to be out to eat, but it's whatever activity that we both enjoy doing. So we schedule that. I schedule that on somebody's calendar. So at the beginning of the month, I reach out to a friend and say, okay, when can we get together this month? Right? And I plan that outing. Now, on a quarterly basis, what I wanted to do was, personally, I wanted to do a crafting class. For some reason, I like crafting, and I wanted to learn how to crochet this year. And I also wanted to do some painting classes and some pottery classes and things like that. So at least quarterly, I wanted to find me a class to take. And then also another quarterly goal that I had was to travel, whether that in one of those quarters had to be out of the country. So I wanted to go out of the country once a year. And then on the other ones, it can be inner city. A weekend here, a week there, it's fine. As long as I went somewhere at least once a quarter, because one of my goals is to get back to traveling. Now, once you lay all of your tasks out, then you can begin to establish a daily routine. A routine where you can put these in for the hours of the day. Now, sometimes that can be a little intimidating to schedule up your tasks, but I like to do this because once I put everything in a routine, then I can take these times and I can put them in my phone as alarms. I can set alarms. So every day my alarm is going to go off at 6:30 and I have to wake up and study and pray, right? And then around 8 a.m., I may do my prayer and stretch and walk on the treadmill, right? And then I log into work. I work from 9 to 6. So I'm pretty much sitting there stagnant from 9 to 6, right? And then after that, I schedule on my day to do 2 hours on business activities, right? And then my night routine is to read a book before bed instead of watching so much television, right? Then I have Saturday classes, Saturday tasks. Those are my weekly things. And the Saturday and Sundays are my weekly things, right? Whatever I had that could be done weekly or monthly as well, I write that as my Saturday task. And then, like I said, put those in my calendar as well, right? And so this is what the calendar looks like when you looked at them for each month. As you can see, I have January written out, but then I had to go in and fill in the days of the month, right? And then I write down different things that I wanted to get done and things that I wanted to remember. Another thing that I like about this planner is that for each month, I have a section where you can write an affirmation to yourself, right? Because we love the power of affirmations. We love to speak affirmations over ourselves. And then we can write that out. And then after you do all that, you're finally done with the preliminary work and you can come in and do your weekly journaling or your weekly plan for the week. Now, sometimes I like to write out my priorities and my to-do list for the week and the scripture that I'm going to meditate on. And then I might leave this section open, right? Because this section over here, it puts out your week from Monday through Sunday, and you can write in what you're gonna do each day. Sometimes I don't like to do that because depending on the work day, depending on what's going on, I might not stick to what I put on the day that I put it, right? So it depends on how much time that I've allotted to do it. So I don't like to fill that in. I might fill that in after the fact. Or I might use this section to just reflect on the whole week as a whole after I've come back and look at what I accomplished and what I didn't accomplish, right? And so now, at the time that I'm recording this video, it is the 20th. So I have to write out my reflection from last week, as well as what I'm going to prioritize for the week coming up. So that was it on this planner. I really like it. Like I said, because it's undated, I order me a new one every year. This is no, I just created it this year. So last year I had purchased a planner from somebody else. So I created my own. And then what I really like about this one is at the end of each month, there is a review, because I remember I told you that you should review what you achieved, what worked and what didn't work, what you're going to do more of, what you need to do less of. And then you move on to the next month. Now, because this is a quarterly journal, what I added is that at the end of each quarter, there is a reflect and reaction, what should I call this, article, right? And they talk about different subjects. The first one for Q1 is about embracing the 5 C's of consistency. And my 5 C's are clarity, commitment, courage, communication, and community. And you begin to talk about what were your significant accomplishments in the first quarter. How clear are your goals? And is your why still motivating you? Reflect on moments when you faced adversity and how did your courage shine through, right? Have you reached out for help and communicated your challenges effectively? And then you're going to evaluate your community. So there's a lot of quarterly reflections that goes on too. Then there's a whole reflection page for you to write about how you felt as you achieved your goals. So that is each quarter. In each quarter, there is a different topic here. So I really like this as well. And it really enhanced this journal a lot. One thing that I like about creating my own journals is that I get to speak to your fears, right? You speak to your emotions, speak to your obstacles to help you to really think about it. Because one thing that I was tired of buying planners every year and not finishing them, right? So I want you to help you to think through the process and to really think through your goals and your plans, and to actually commit to your planner and to have a planner that is going to work for you, right? So that's all that I have. If you want to purchase this planner, the link will be in the comments, so you can go to my website and check it out. Thank you and have a nice day.